Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Companies to watch.
Yes, that familiar roar of that engine can only belong to one car brand, and that is Ferrari.
Yes, Ferrari. The sound of the engine roaring across the streets. And the iconic red that bleeds right across as well. I mean, it's something that it's hard to miss, Ryan. Are you a huge car fan yourself?
Probably not as huge as you. I know you love your fast cars and motorbikes and so on.
Yeah, it's a bit of the thrill that I get because my life is boring as it is. But yes, welcome to Companies to Watch. This is a segment where we find out whether the stock or topic is going to be hot or not.
But why do you pick Ferrari today? What's going on?
Well, Ryan, let's get straight to the point. Well, that's because recently they've taken a hard turn and just recently dropped about 16% in its stock price in a single day, marking its steepest decline since the company went public.
Okay, that's quite a milestone of kind of a bad note. Why did it drop so much?
Yes, okay, let's dive into the details with Ferrari. Well, its recent Capital Markets Day had given investors a rather mixed signal. Well, one that is optimism in the near term, but then again caution in the longer term. So the company did raise its 2025 revenue target to at least 7.1 billion euros. That's a modest upgrade and kept its EBITDA margin floor to around 38%.
Sounds like good news so far.
And it sounds like big money we're talking about here. But what really caught markets off guard were the 2030 projections, because by the end of the decade, Ferrari now expects revenue of around 9 billion euros and operating profits near 2.75 billion euros, and numbers that came in well below analyst expectations and also closer to about 3.2 billion euros. So that did trigger the 16% sell-off that we've seen last week. So because of a company that's trading at luxury brand valuations, a small little drag with its earnings or profit margins might take a huge hit in its share price.
Wow, I think a lot of people were expecting more from Ferrari. So when it didn't deliver on that front, people just started to sell off, or at least taking an excuse to take profit.
Yeah, some market watchers said that Ferrari's guidance came in below even their worst case scenario. Others saw it as a realism, a company refusing to overpromise in a world of high costs, of course, evolving tech with EVs all across the market and cooling luxury market. While either way, the message was pretty clear. Ferrari is not chasing speed at all costs. And that restraint did carry forward into its product strategy as well, because at the same event, Ferrari unveiled its first fully electric model, the Elettrica, that's set to launch next year. Have you seen it, Ryan?
Yeah, Elettrica. It's quite a nice name, but I haven't seen it, but it's interesting because Ferrari for quite some time is known for its rev, that can only come from an internal combustion engine. But now when you're going to an EV world of sorts, what will it sound like?
Well, it's like what we've talked about before. I mean, most of the time, combustion engine, the sound comes from the air, right? It's surroundings, right? That's created from the combustion of the engines. Whereas for this, when it comes to EV, the sound of the exhaust is coming out from, I guess, the contact of the vibrations from the metal within the engines.
I was imagining they would have some sound speakers, so it would sound like anything you wanted, even a spaceship.
I guess that's the one thing that a lot of these EV makers are making today. I've tried one myself, and it's a bit odd at first. It gives you a bit of the vibe, but it doesn't give you the grumble that an ICE engine would.
Yeah,
right?
The growl. And then you can feel the vibrations through the floor plate.
So essentially for most car lovers or avid, automobile lovers out there, this won't exactly feel as authentic as you would with an ICE engine.
Yeah.
So it's sleek, it's quiet, it's packed with an in-house battery tech, and it also represents a milestone for the Speedster and the brand itself. After all, the twist is that alongside the debut, Ferrari also did scale back on its electrification goals.
I think the issue is folks are just not jumping on board the EV bandwagon as fast as they were hoping or projecting.
Yeah, because Because after all, I mean, if you think of Ferrari, you think of their fantastic ICE engines that they've built, the fast cars that they've built over the past close to a decade. And it does seem like, they're holding back a bit of their expectations on doing the switch to EV. Instead of half of its lineup being electric by 2030, Ferrari now expects, their lineup to be about 20% fully electric, 40% hybrid, and another 40% still powered by internal combustion engines. Good news for the car lovers out there, because it does seem like your hopes and dreams of driving ICE engines is still around the corner. So according to the CEO of Ferrari, it's about preserving what makes a Ferrari a Ferrari. So the visceral sound, the emotional drive, and the connection between man and a machine.
Yeah, I think that's what Ferrari is. It is an emotional purchase, right? You buy it because you like it for various reasons.
Yeah.
You buy it because you want to flaunt it. It is all tied to emotions.
Exactly. And let's be real, it's emotionally damaging as well. And financially damaging to your wallet. So yes, he did call it a powertrain neutrality. The idea that Ferrari should build the right car for the right purpose and not chase trends. So it does seem like they're rather cautious. In contrast to what we're seeing with rivals, Porsche is doubling down on its Taycan with an electric 911 in development. That's a huge milestone for them. Lamborghini's Lanzador is coming in about 2028. So we're seeing how the rest of the luxury sports, they're slowly integrating and accelerating into electrification. But Ferrari is taking the scenic route and they're prioritizing emotion over emission. So let's talk a little bit more about the bull case and the bear case of Ferrari.
All right.
Well, first things first, pricing power, it still defies gravity. After all, it operates on a league of its own, right? If you look at a Ferrari on the road, you know this person has kind of made it, right? It sells fewer than 15,000 cars a year. So it commands a luxury brand margin north of 30%. That's a number that rivals Hermes and LVMH, not other automakers, right?
Okay, just a quick look. Ferrari search is giving me $2.2 million for the Puros, and I'm not sure how to call it.
You got that amount to spare, Ryan?
Yeah.
I'd love to drive one.
What else is going on? But, Ferrari 488 Pista for $1.1 million.
Yeah.
If you've got that,
Yeah, so if you got that lying around, well, I guess that might be one for you. So another bull case for Ferrari would be its prestige and diversification. After all, its name carries unmatched emotional capital from the likes of F1 to apparel, collectibles, and even, their hyper-seal project as well. So the diversification into luxury lifestyle also did help to cushion against cyclical car demand, which then helps to protect against fall in profit margins. The disciplined strategy and and the slower EV rollout could be also seen as a strategic discipline, refusing to rush technology that don't meet their standards. So on the other end of the spectrum, the bear case would be the fact that Ferrari currently trades at about 45 to 50 times forward earnings. That's far above peers like Porsche and Lamborghini. Well, EV transition risk is also another factor. Ferrari calls it a powertrain neutrality. Investors might see it as a form of hesitation. After all, rivals are building credibility within the EV space, but Ferrari risks being perceived as lagging if they do not continue with their advancements with their technology, especially when it comes to electric vehicle. And if the Elettrica fails to meet expectations next year, who knows what's to come for them. So the cautious outlook, after all, their lowered growth outlook, is yet another factor that investors might have to consider, because Ferrari's 2030 financial targets for revenue and profit was seen as conservative after all. So yes, having considered all the factors for Ferrari, I'm probably still going to go with a hot. Yeah.
I'm not so optimistic about where things are going with Ferrari, because you've got competition, you've got supply chain issues, you've got geopolitics, and it's just not as compelling a story for me right now.
That's a fair point, Ryan. I like to think that it's more of legacy's sake, and I guess a little bit of optimism in terms of how they're able to keep their customers over time. Well, that being said, Tip Ranks Yahoo Barons are giving it a buy rating as of the 14th of October. And that would pretty much wrap it up for analysis of today's Stock in Focus, Ferrari. Okay, Ryan, according to legend, did you know that Lamborghini was a result of Ferrari?
Oh, how did that happen?
So the founder of Lamborghini had built a successful farm tractor company after World War II, and by the early 1960s, he had owned several Ferrari sports cars. So the story goes like this. In 1962, Lamborghini took one of his Ferraris back to the factory to complain to Enzo Ferrari himself about constant clutch issues. So allegedly, Enzo replied with something along the lines of, maybe you should learn to drive better.
Oh, all right. So he kind of said, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, so he was so angry and he vowed to start his own car company to compete with Ferrari. So historians have casted doubts on the exact details of the origin story, but it's clear that Lamborghini did launch its car company to compete with Ferrari. So what color can unlock a car?
Blue?
A khaki.
Gosh.
Okay,
khaki.
what will happen if you have a wooden car with wooden engine and wooden wheels?
I'm not sure what.
It wouldn't start.
Wouldn't start.
And that's all we have for Ferrari.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance.
Money FM 89.3.